Today I'm gonna install this rear sprocket, 53 teeth versus 51. I want to get a little bit more torque out of the bike. And then I will install this lowering link because this bike is really tall for me. I'm 5'6", and man, they made this bike for giants. I'm gonna loosen these over here, a 12 and a 10. Same thing on the other side. And now a size 32 millimeter. I think I'm deaf after that impact noise. And as you can see, I have a block of wood barely touching the tire. Just some assistance, that's all it is. Okay, now obviously loosen all the nuts. And when you do this, be careful, you know, your hand doesn't slip and hit the teeth here because it's gonna hurt and it'll leave a mark. This is how I got this mark 20 years ago. I was a young kid, I went to change my sprocket. My hand slipped and boom, it went right in a tooth. So don't be like me, be smarter. So because I learned my lesson, now I'm gonna go like this. This way if my hand slip, it's not gonna hit in there. And we got washers in the back. Man, this is really light. All right, let's open up this new one. And made in the USA, baby. And here are some part numbers and stuff and specs. Nice and light. I thought it would match the bike better, but it's like a darker green. Now looking at it, I wish I would have gotten like a silver one again. Make sure the surface is clear. There's no debris that's gonna hold up the sprocket. Look what I took out. Put it on this way. You can see they're different on each side. Zip zip, letter at a time. Okay, I'll line up on the torque spec of 25 foot-pounds. Again, you wanna go crisscross, like from here to here, there, boom, boom, like that. With a size 17, I'm gonna loosen this nut and that nut for the lowering link. We ran into a situation. The roller of the chain here, that's part of the shaft here that I loosened. And it doesn't clear unless I take the foot peg off with the kickstand. Okay, now we can finally slide this out. And I got that wood supporting the swing arm. They're even here. The new one is a little bit longer. Don't panic, because the way how this works is, being that it's longer, it's gonna grab here further away, making the swing arm come up. And thus in return, lowering the bike. And they want you to reuse the sleeve here because the new one, it doesn't have that. Ooh, man, that slid out like nothing. And in here it has a bunch of needle bearings. Make sure they don't pop out. If they do, you're gonna have to put them back. And then you put the washers this way, facing inwards. Okay, make sure they're good, that the seal is not like pinched over, whatever. Just a touch of some grease here, so it slides in nice and easy. Make sure that this part, you see it has two flat spots, that one of them lines up with this other flat piece so it doesn't spin on you. And don't go crazy tight, you can make it pretty snug like I am right here. But it's aluminum, you don't want to strip it as usual, you know the drill. That's pretty tight, plus it has Loctite. The torque spec for those nuts, I believe it's this where it says tie rod, mounting nuts. 60 newton meters or 44 foot-pounds. And then going back to the rear sprocket, it's 26 foot-pounds, not 25 like I found it on the internet. Don't always rely on the internet, always look your manual. Don't rely on YouTube videos either.
Bruh.
Okay, now I'm gonna have this ready. See, it's got dirt. Just a little bit of grease, make it slide in nice. And then make sure these puppies didn't fall off on either side. Alright everyone, as usual, I ran into an issue. That seems to be the theme over here. The bigger sprocket now is making the chain hit the guard here, so I'm gonna have to do some research, and I'm thinking I might need to get a longer chain. Alright guys, another day, another dollar here. I checked this out and it looks like I just need one more link bigger on the chain. I was hoping I could have got away with a stock chain, but just for one link now I had to get another chain. Also got a gold one because I don't like how this one it gets so rusty, and it looks cheap. It looks really cheap even though it's a good brand like this one. And as you can see, now it moves nice and freely. This is a 114 link. This is a 120. So I will take 5 links away from this one. I feel like I'm opening a burrito. I cannot do 5 links because if I do that, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would not have 2 female ends for the master link to go in. So I'm gonna have the chain 1 link bigger, and that will bring it to 116, which means I will take off 4 links. It probably sounds confusing, but if you have it in front of you and you check it out and you do the math, you'll understand better what I mean. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will cut this off. I ground that off. Now I'm gonna whack it off with a punch. This is a good trick if you don't have an actual tool to take off these links. This is the poor man's way to do it, which most of us are. So I'm gonna use this as a backing so that pin can slide out. Almost there guys, it's coming out. I suggest you get the tool because this is a little bit of a fight, and also you might hit your hand. Okay, finally got it. I'm getting too old for this. I'm gonna get the tool next time. When I was a kid, that was fine. I used to torture myself this way, but I'm getting too old for this. And also, look, I fucking messed up the floor. I'm gonna have to touch it up or something, even though I used a cardboard. So I ended up taking it outside and whacking it out there. But at least you guys learn from my mistakes. Okay, now I'm gonna show you a nice trick here. I put this on the new chain, put this like that, the old one, bada bing bada boom, and then feed it through. Time for the new master link. You're gonna put the side where it says "Did Japan" facing outwards, the other side is just blank. Boom. Now this, my friends, very important. You gotta put it on this way. So when the chain rotates, let's say if there's a branch or something, a rock, and it hits it, it can only make it tight. Because if you put it this way, and as the chain turns around, and if it gets hit by something, it'll pop off. Okay, now it's time to adjust the chain. And this motorcycle, they want you to raise the back wheel like I have it, and then check for the slack. Of course, look at your owner's manual. It might be different on your bike, but that's how it's done on this bike. So the way they want you to do it is from this part here, from the slider that's up top on the swing arm, until the bottom of the chain when you pull it upwards. This is the spec that they want. 48 to 54 millimeters or 1.9 to 2.1 inches. So basically they're saying from this point to the bottom part of the chain here, they want it to be within that spec. Adjust it with the adjustment screws, the one here and on the other side. Then they give you these lines here for reference. Also, if you want to take it a step further, I got this tool and it checks for the alignment. Make sure the wheel is aligned. I don't know how well you can see it from the camera, but now it's kind of off. But with this tool, if you look at it, you can fine tune it. You can use one of these guys and go like this, or back here. This is kind of an awkward shape, but like on the Hayabusa here, it's more flat, so I can do that over here. I took it out a few days ago too. What an animal. This thing has some power. Anyways, back to that one. Once I adjust the chain, then I will tighten down the nut, and that will be 110 Newton meters or 81 foot-pounds. And since I'm here, we put seeds in here. Got some tomatoes, cucumber, some peppers, and they're growing. Good stuff. Okay, here I got about 2 inches right where they want it. Right over here. And then the tool. That's looking pretty straight with the chain. And then over here, same thing on this side. Snug these down a little bit. And don't forget the backup nut. Just a little bit snug. Okay, it made a little bit of a difference, but it's not like, oh my god, I was expecting a little bit more. But yeah, it is a little bit better. But I have to ride the bike and get a feel of it. Some people are concerned of this wearing out in here, but I'm gonna put some hours on it and see how it works out. Hopefully it's good. And then I want to point out, if you're changing a chain or a sprocket, they should be changed as a set, but this machine only has just a few hours on it, so that's why I was able to just get away with new chain and rear sprocket. The front one I left the stock one. And then another thing is, if your bike has a few hours on it, or actually a lot of hours, you can take these out just like you took this out to lubricate those needle bearings since you're at it. So yeah, I'm gonna ride the bike a few times, get a feel of it, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I can also later on maybe change the seat, put a lower seat, but the thing with that is that it has less foam, and this is already pretty stiff and hard, so we'll see. And I can tell the bike before it was leaning more. Now it's a little bit more upright because it's a little bit lowered. Another thing also, a lot of people, I checked on forums and stuff, people are like, oh, if you change the link in the back, you're changing the geometry. Yes, it's true. But the thing is, I'm not that good of a rider to notice a difference. That's one thing. I don't know about you, you might be able to jump 150 feet in the air and notice that. But also the other thing is, if you lower the rear of the bike and then you lower the front of the bike like I did, basically you have the same geometry. Alrighty everybody, thank you for watching. Hopefully I get some good weather and I can take it out for a spin. See you in the next one.